Rolling! Good. Welcome to the BARCAST podcast for today. I am Salt.
And I'm George.
Yes, right. And we are so happy to bring big news for you in this podcast. You want to stay all the way to the end. We got new information on the Amarone Trust 5K, new information on Big Bar, including some sponsors. We also have a giveaway sometime this morning as well. Well, today in this podcast, so you're going to get a chance to win with the Bar Tribe. And you got other information for us as well, George?
Yeah, there's just so many things happening. We had to get a pod quick out to you so you can start preparing for September 30th as well as November 25th and 26th.
November 25th and 26th and the end of September. Let's start with the Amarone Trust 5K. Same course as last year.
Same course as last year, and we had about 200 people come out and run the course. And I think when people hear it's a cross-country event, those road runners get a little apprehensive.
Don't.
But I don't understand why, because it's a very fun course, and so we were putting together a little training run for them. So we can come to Peg and run the course at the same time that it would
Which
be.
is important, though.
Absolutely, because I know a lot of people, they train, the only time they can find time for training, generally, is before work.
Yeah.
Because you got homework with your kids in the evening, you got other things to do for your family. So, they'll make the effort to get to a competitive event, but their normal training is in the morning early when it's still cool and when it's still, easy to access. So then they turn up on the day and all we can hear is how hot it is. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So we're giving these individuals a chance to actually run the course at the time that the race would be on.
I know that's good as well, too, because even people that can train at other times of the day or during the week, a lot of times what has happened in previous years, the Amarone Trust, you will go out there on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning and they burst.
Right.
Because people are training the course, but
Right.
people are studying the temperature, that the difference in temperature between the morning and that 4 o'clock in the evening. So, 4 o'clock, September the 10th.
Correct. So, we have the route already posted on Run Go. I'm sure there's a few Strava segments as well, but sometimes these things are better done with community. Yeah, so we'll get as many people as we can. Everybody's invited. It's a free event, so come up to Peg. We always start on time, so get there 4 o'clock. Do a little bit of a warm-up beforehand.
3:30 then, guys.
3:30, yeah.
So we start at 4.
Correct. And we'll run the course with you, give you all the little pointers about how to approach each section so you know how to train for the next 3 or 4 weeks.
That's a very good initiative, and it's absolutely free for people.
Absolutely free.
And that also helps you then, as you race official, the chief in charge of the race, to see what can be improved between then and September, the end of September. September 30th, is it?
September 30th. Yeah. And we take feedback all the time. Because again, I say I just put on the events, but the events belong to the community.
Yeah.
So, if people think that a section's a little tricky and we can make an adjustment to it, we will. But I think this course is pretty well mapped out. It's a fun course.
And established now as
pretty
well.
well established. And I think it's a course that the runners enjoy as well. The only comment I get is that some persons feel like we should go down bowling alley because I think it's to their advantage.
Yes.
But logistically, it's better if we don't.
That was actually going to be my comment when you say we listen to feedback. And of all the feedback you listen to, you take up bowling alley.
Yeah.
You know what? One of my things with that run is the gate when you're coming back onto Peg. I feel like that's a nifty little obstacle. You're going to get that open on the day, all right?
It will be open, yeah. Because the only thing is that you have to stop running.
Yeah.
And if you have two people, because that's only about a kilometer out.
Yeah.
So if you have two people who are really vying for that first place, neck and neck.
Like on several
can change the
occasions,
race.
George, in training, and that is where I made my escape.
Yeah.
They will come up bowling alley with somebody. It was chinks wrong. But when they get on the cart road going into that
sure you get to
gate,
the gate first.
make sure you get to that gate first, and then we work that out afterwards.
Right.
Okay, so Amarone Trust 5K. It's a trail mix. So it's not only on trail. It's a little bit of road. There's a lot of long grass as well as some car road. It's such an interesting run. It's a unique run.
It is, and you have to the surface is changing all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it a little bit more challenging for those of us who just train on the road all the time. It's a fairly homogeneous surface. We can get into rhythm and we can keep running. Or if you're only training on the treadmill, train this course, people. Train this course. The different sections feel different on your legs.
I remember 2 years ago with that course, I had trained it so often, I felt like I knew every ant's nest.
Right.
on the course. You got to get intimate with the course because the course is, all right, a normal road runner on a 5K on a relatively flat surface is going to say, all right, I'm going to do this first K with this amount of effort and how they're going to progress or regress or where they're going to take it easy. Unlike those races, though, the effort changes based on the terrain. So you got certain Ks of the Amarone Trust 5K that are harder. So if you're a person that normally want to hold back for the last K, and so you're gonna recover in the third K. You get the third K, the Amarone Trust 5K, that is some uphill or some stairs and grass, you know what I mean?
Every K is not the same.
Every K is not the same, yeah.
You should plan your race strategy according to the terrain.
To the terrain,
So
yeah.
you might be normally you might say, well, let me keep it easy here on the second K, but the second K might be mostly downhill. That might be a place you could push.
That's the place to push, yeah.
So come and have a look and try it out. I mean, obviously, I'm talking to those individuals who are thinking about trying to win or win their age group or get close to the podium. The rest of us who are running for fun, we can turn up and we can just do our best.
I love the mantra that you put out all the time too, though, for people that are coming out to have fun. That things are more fun when you're fit and you understand what you're doing.
This is true. But I don't want people to feel like I didn't spend 6 weeks preparing, so I can't do that event.
That's why it's a walk as well, though.
Exactly. You can walk it as well. If you're in the gym, if you can go to the gym 3 times a week, you can do this event. If you're out there walking with your friends, your family, or whatever every morning, this event is within your reach. Everybody who is healthy, really is physically capable to do this event. And then, obviously there are tiers from there. Yeah. Some people can try to run the whole thing. Some people can try to win the age group. And some people can try the podium.
And the beautiful thing about it, again, sorry for telling, because I really love the Amarone Trust 5K. I don't know if you could tell by listening to the podcast. But one of the other things is that it is an absolutely beautiful venue. It is probably the most beautiful 5K in Barbados. You're running in between the cut rock and others. So you got the vista, you got the view of the East Coast here.
Yeah, and for those of us like me who would be at the back, we stop and we take some selfies and we look around. I know you fellas is probably just see your feet.
Yeah.
Right so far, but it's a beautiful, beautiful location at Peg Farm.
I must be watching the man that in front of me.
Right.
But you've also brought back the relay element of it this year.
Yeah, so
that was a hit last year.
Yeah, and I think by the time this podcast comes out, people should be either getting ready to go back to school or almost be in school. And again, the team that won was made up primarily of school kids, if I'm not mistaken.
Most of the teams were made up of school kids, which was lovely to see.
Of all ages.
Yeah.
And I think the team that won the random draw prize as well was made up mostly of school kids. So you remember, if you think that your team isn't good enough to win and win the $750 for the winning team, we also offer a completely random draw prize. As long as your team finishes the 4x1K, you are entered into a prize to win a prize that is equal to first place. So you could come last and win the same money as first. You never heard a race like that yet.
Never, ever. What is the composition of the teams?
So it's a mixed relay format.
Yeah.
Mixed relays are very kind of topical right now.
Yeah.
The World Championships being all. So 2 male and 2 female per team. Everybody runs a K.
You can decide what order you're going to run in.
The order is completely up to you.
It's up to you on the day as well. You could, because I saw some of that strategy going down last year as well. Where people would say, "All right, he's sending she next leg, so you go next leg."
Yeah, we don't care.
I love that. I love that thinking on your feet.
As all 4 your persons going, you're not trying to send the same person running 2 or 3 laps.
Yeah.
Then we're good to go.
Go on the shirt. So we got to talk about the Ruck Up division as well.
Yeah. So new this year, we got the rucking division. In the morning, so that those persons who want to do the ruck and didn't do the flat 5K as well still have an opportunity to do that. The weights are 20 pounds for women and 30 pounds for men. We weigh in before, so the race starts at 6, so you get there at 5:15 and you weigh in your ruck, and then we weigh in afterwards, so you can't dump, anyway along the course. Yeah, so we're looking forward to that event. There are so many persons who tell me they're doing both of them. They're doing the ruck in the morning and come back in the evening and doing the flat 5K. So let's see how that goes.
Yeah, you feel people can run the entire 5K with the rucksack?
Oh yeah, for sure. And people out there training it as well already.
Yeah.
And mostly the hardest thing about running 5K with a rucker is just getting comfortable with it. Mm-hmm. So having had such long notice leading into the event, and having had a chance to train with it, I think people will be fine, for sure.
I will tell you, everybody now watching the podcast and listening to the podcast, y'all know I live and breathe bar. Rucking is the one thing that I have not gotten into, and I regret it. So trust me, when the rucking program start back out, everybody's been doing rucking. I've seen their fitness improve exponentially, George. They may rip in form right now. Yeah,
because running for 7K, for 10K, even for 5K, continuously sometimes is hard for people. Mm-hmm. Especially if you haven't been doing a lot of training beforehand. when you first start back, your knees hurting, your back hurting, you maybe just don't have the fitness to sustain it. So you can never really get your heart rate in that zone for long enough to start to see the fitness benefits.
Yeah.
But just carrying a weight on your back simulates running without having to run. And I think that's how a lot of them built their fitness. And now they've obviously started to
Chipping
capitalize
at
on
it
that.
as well too. The chipping with the rat parts, no, the chipping with the sandbags.
Yeah, somebody do a whole 10K that had a 250-meter incline in just over an hour. So they're doing more than chipping. These guys are traveling.
Yeah, so big ups to the rockers, all the rocking program people, and don't forget, Rock Up is where it's at. I've definitely put down your program for next year, for 2024. Make sure that you are as fit as these rockers, boy. Correct. Don't forget, if you're listening to the podcast right now, we have a giveaway coming up, so you want to be tuned for that. You want to listen all the way to the end. It's the BARCAST podcast, and it can be a BARCAST podcast unless we talk big bar.
Correct. November 25th, 26th, we are now the World Obstacle World Cup event.
World Obstacle World Cup event.
So that's on their page as well. So there's plenty of reasons to come and do the bar event in November. You can qualify for the World Championships. You can get points towards their World Cup series. So yeah, if you're overseas and you're wondering, I'm thinking about it, then this is added incentive to get to Barbados and take part in this event.
November 25th and 26th.
Correct.
The big days. No, you got some big news to share with us though.
Yes, we
got like 2 or 3 sets of big news. Pick one.
So we have a new title sponsor for the event.
Like that. Yeah.
And we are now the BTMI Barbados Adventure Weekend. And then we have all our title sponsors for our individual weekend, individual events.
Yeah.
But we've been working with BTMI, on kind of a smaller scale the last few years. And BAR was always conceptualized as a sports tourism event. Yeah. Because, we started this on the east coast of Barbados. The lovely vistas out there, the terrain. Even though most of the hotels in Barbados are on the west coast and the south coast, when it comes to sightseeing, most of the sightseeing on the island happens on the east coast. Mm-hmm. That's where most of the natural beauty of Barbados is. So BAR was developed as a chance to give locals and overseas participants a chance to experience a fitness event in that environment. Yeah. And that's how we kind of grew and developed. So we were purpose-built for marketing to the source markets with the BTMI, but it took a little while for us to really get on the same page as them as to the messaging that was going to go out and how we can sell this event to obstacle racers abroad. Where should we be selling it? Yeah, and all those different things. And now we're good. We're on track. We have a new new guy in charge of sports development at BTMI, Kamal.
Big up to yourself, man.
And these guys are really focused on.
So they're seeing the vision.
Yeah, they're really fully invested in BAR, and we're happy to have them on board. So yeah, we have new title sponsor for the weekend this year.
That's really good. So it's the BTMI Barbados Adventure Weekend.
Correct.
A whole weekend of adventure.
Indeed.
And because it's the 2 days format. So tell me about the 2 days. Now, what's happening on day 1 of BAR?
On day 1 of BAR, we have the Pedialyte Obstacle-Free Fun Run. So again, like if you want to get in part to the community, you're like, but I ain't got no upper body strength. I ain't getting to practice on the skills. I know how to do them things. This is the event for you. Come, run the course. It's going to be the same course as the 5K course. And as you're running by your obstacle, if you feel like jumping on and trying it, that's up to you. This is a pure fun run. So you're not costing yourself any prizes because all the prizes are going to be completely random.
Okay. But there's still prizes, but that's random.
Everybody gets a prize.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody will get a prize, but it's going to be completely random. So you'll get at least a bar key ring at the end.
Right.
You might win a hotel for 2. You might win a weekend with what do they call it? The courtesy vehicle from Simpson Motors. All these things are prizes, but it doesn't matter where you come. It's going to be completely random.
Okay. So that's with the Pedialyte Obstacle-Free Fun Run.
Correct. Saturday morning.
That's a lot, right? But I didn't focus on the free. Right? Absolutely. Is a registration fee for that, though?
There's a registration fee for that because obviously those registration fee goes towards all the prizes.
All the prizes that you win, yeah.
And you still get a finisher T-shirt. It's not like you just run this thing and then you go home and nobody know you do it. You still get your finisher T-shirt for that obstacle-free fun run.
Obstacle-free fun run. First thing to kick off the BTMI Barbados Adventure Weekend.
Correct.
All right. The next thing on the menu, or the schedule, I should say, is the menu. Yes. And that's how much is eat bar.
So then we have the World Cup event, the Armoni Charitable Trust Caribbean Championships over 3K for male and female, and this is the elite event. So there's no more open wave for this event per se. The open wave moves to Sunday.
Okay.
So these are all the guys who are trying to either come and just test their fitness or who are looking to get on the podium or anybody who's looking to qualify for the World Championships and go abroad and represent Barbados. So that is on the Saturday afternoon. That's how we culminate the event, the activities on the Saturday.
And that's over 3K?
Over 3K.
As per usual. Yes.
As per usual.
Sprint.
20 obstacles over 3K.
Yeah, they are very obstacle dense, boy.
Very obstacle. I feel that, I've always felt that somebody who was just a runner shouldn't be able to come and do a bunch of burpees and still win bar.
Yeah.
Right. So it's an obstacle course race. So we put lots of obstacles in because that's why you're there. You're there to have fun on the obstacles.
Yeah.
Right. So if you were like looking at the prize and saying, man, we only got 10 obstacles in this thing, I could run.
I could run and do some burpees.
Now you got another thought coming. You got to spend some time on the obstacles as well.
All right. And that's day one complete then?
That's day one complete. Correct.
All right. Day two now?
Day two is when if you're running for fun, you come back. In the morning, we have the open wave. And we're running the open wave a little differently than last year. You can register as an individual or you can register as a team. And your team could be 96 people in your team. It's not just teams of 4 now. So you run as an individual. If you get to a wall, you see somebody need a hand, you help them over. And you do it yourself. If you're running as a team, you guys work together. And I was kind of inspired by this, having attended a Spartan race and watching guys who were like ex-army and so on running together. And when I say running together, there's guys in wheelchairs, there's amputees, there's older individuals, and they're just running together and supporting each other and carrying themselves through the entire course as a team. Because this is a fun part.
Right.
You know, you're not looking to take away a podium place from anybody. So you
can represent Barbados.
So you can help each other in whatever way you want. And obviously, if you miss the obstacles, then, you know, you do the burpees. But there's no prizes, so you're not taking away anything from anybody if you do 18 burpees instead of 20.
Yeah. So that's the open wave is any size team.
Any size team. And I would encourage people to use this as a chance to fly whatever flag you have.
Yeah.
So if you got a football team or a basketball team, or if you got some people, you know, from work that don't fall into the corporate challenge category, then put on some T-shirts, get some T-shirts made and come out and fly your flag over the bar course and enjoy the event together.
Yeah, it doesn't actually have to be people that, it could be people that live up by you in your neighborhood.
Exactly.
Or even the people that you constantly in the hair salon, but these people
the hair salon.
Yeah, let's call in random collections of people. Right. You could just bring your tribe, bring your squad.
Exactly.
And come, because the corporate challenge is really designed for people that work at a workplace to build staff morale and that kind of stuff.
Exactly. And the corporate challenge follows the open wave.
That's on Sunday then.
On the Sunday. So yeah, but this is teams of 4. So 2 male and 2 female if you want to be a part of the podium.
Right.
Now, if you want that title of the fittest team in Barbados, 2 male and 2 female, and you come out and run with your company, use it as a chance to, like you say, build morale within your squad. Use it as a chance to bring, you know, upper management, middle management, and maybe line staff together. Train over the 6 to 12 weeks, however you want to do it, and get your team ready. We found that people coming out of the corporate challenge always report that people perform better at work.
Yeah.
You know, because of that camaraderie, because of working together, because of learning. You might end up training and doing the event with somebody who you see in the office every week but never actually talk to.
Yep.
But now you had to build that communication with them, and all of a sudden things are better.
The reason why I know the corporate challenge works is because we see a lot of repeat companies sending teams every year and sending multiple teams, because I think that they see the improvement, as you said, in the staff morale. Communication is essential. And like, as you said, people that I've heard people say, well, they're not really in the same department, but they don't want to start to talk to this body because of bar and that kind of stuff. And that helps then to build the linkages in your workplace, and then that will obviously translate to a more efficient workplace.
Yeah, and this year we have a new title for the corporate challenge, the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited.
The PWCC.
Every time I say that right in one go, I feel like patting myself on the back. Yeah. So big shout out to them, and hopefully they'll be bringing out a bunch of teams as well to represent on the day.
Really looking forward to seeing them as well, and hopefully they get on the podium as well. But you're gonna put in the work, guys.
For sure.
You have to put in the work. So that's the corporate challenge. And you said it is teams of 4 burpee penalties.
Yeah. It's an obstacle course race, so you know you have to do the skills. You can't just not do them and keep going. So and you do these burpees as a team. So everybody in the team does the burpees if you miss the skills.
Okay. And then the big one will be after that then on the Sunday as well. So there's 3 different events on the Sunday.
Correct. I mean, we had the open wave, the Corporate Challenge, and then the CG Insurance Elite Team Challenge.
Elite teams now. So how many teams are you looking for on the line this year?
I would like to have 40 teams on the line.
40.
You know, and I think that's achievable because last year we had 17 teams, and of those 7, and back then it was 2 male and 2 female.
Right.
Right. But now it's only 1 female. So even if we just double that because there's more availability of females and get a few more, if we can get
So the teams are 3.
Teams are 3.
We established that.
So that's the first change from last year. Teams are 3, and you have to have 1 of each gender.
Yeah.
At first, I was saying that you had to have at least 1 female, but I think from the carries perspective, the women definitely have an advantage.
For the carries, with the little sandbags, etc.
Correct. So 3 women, I think, would have a real big advantage on a team that had 3 men in it.
Yeah.
On a team that had no, if there's a team with no men in it, that team has a really big advantage over another team.
And it's honest because we would see it in training. It's days that you got elite men, but we see how these girls is going on. The ladies be flying at the hill with those smaller sound.
Because the women's weight is 50 pounds, the men's weight is 80 pounds, and a lot of times the men and the women who carry them weigh the same amount.
We weigh the same amount, and we equally strong as well. Right. To y'all ladies, barbarian ladies out there, but y'all are beasts.
So this makes it a little bit more fair to make sure that there's at least 1 80-pound moving along the course.
Oh, okay, so at least 1 of each gender on your team. Teams of 3.
Teams of 3
for the elite wave.
Correct.
Okay. How was the distance? Because we normally running 9 to 10K.
Yeah, we've brought down the distance as well because we want to make this event. Over time, we want to make this event more visually impactful for the spectators, and we want to make it more of a obstacle race and not a big running race. And when we were at Peg, we found that when we leave Peg and we go down Horse Hill and through the forest and so on, it really biased the event towards runners. Mm-hmm. So over 5K, more obstacle dense. Now it's about teamwork. It's about overall fitness and not just running fitness.
That we used to do though, with that long running in between though, that really used to set us up well. Because they had 2 races. When you get back on Peg, you would be able to hear people cheering in the back. You know somebody's tip on the state. Right. But yeah, I like the change, the condensing of the event. I met everybody putting that work one time. You got an insurmountable lead because this team full of runners.
Exactly.
I didn't know that. We also changed something else. I understand. I only hear this at training. I didn't see the post. Yeah. With the rules, they got different tiers of obstacles now.
Yeah, because I feel if you're doing the elite wave, you really need to be prepared to do those basic obstacles.
Basic obstacles are what?
Basic obstacles: monkey bars, rope, rings, low traverse.
Low traverse make it into the...
Come on, man. After seeing low traverse for 4 years...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying about the progress of the sport. I remember when low traverse would have been...
advanced obstacle. It was 1 male or 1 female, I think it was when it started. But now we've had a chance to take some beginners and do some beginners classes where it's just coaching skills. Mm-hmm. Just coaching skills. You ain't got to run bout, you ain't got to do the burpees at all. It's just coaching skills. And once people are given the instruction, like we had a class last night. Today, this podcast is being recorded on Wednesday. Our beginners classes on Tuesday evening. And everybody was able to do the low traverse in 1 session of instruction. Because it's not that it's that hard. It's that people don't necessarily know what to do when they get on it.
Right. It's intimidating. And then when you watch someone who has done it before do it, sometimes they will go through it so quickly that you feel like, I can never get that, though.
You're hanging upside down. You're going to make the bar swing and all these things. But last night, everybody mastered that obstacle in 20 minutes.
Lovely.
So the low traverse is now in. You have everybody
in a basic format.
Everybody in the team needs to be able to do the low traverse. And we know that your hands might be slippery, it might slip off, so we're going to give you 3 chances.
3 chances, okay.
So each person on the team has 3 chances at each of the basic obstacles, the level 1 obstacles. And if you don't complete an M3, we'll take your chip and you can run the rest of the course, but we take your chip.
All right, so the level 1, the basic obstacles are low traverse, rings, monkey bars, and rope.
And rope climb.
But rope has always been all...
Correct.
But you never had this thing where if you fail 3 times, you get
your chip taken.
So
now we take your chip and you can run the rest of the course, but obviously there's no podium for you.
3 chances is you got to slip what? Slip one or qualify as a low.
Just those 4.
Okay. So guys, if you're watching right now, he's just mentioned it. 4 obstacles qualify as tier 1 or basic, and those are the low traverse, rings, rope, and monkey bars.
Correct.
Every person on your team has to get through them, and they have a maximum of 3 chances. If for whatever reason one of the people on your team, and your team is only 3 people, by the way, if for any reason one of the people on your team cannot do it in the 3 chances, then you are disqualified from the race.
Well, we would take your chip, and we're not going to take away your enjoyment. You can run the rest of the course, but we would take your chips.
Can you get a finisher T without a chip?
No, you can't get a finisher T without a chip.
That's the point. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the basic obstacles.
Correct.
How many tiers are there for the obstacles?
So there's basically, well, let's call it 3 tiers.
Basic, intermediate, and advanced?
Well, then there's the must complete, which are all the others are must complete, but they're broken into 2 sections. So, for example, there's the walls, all the different versions of walls where everybody has to go over the walls.
Yeah.
Right. So everybody got to work together to get over the slick wall. Everybody got to work together to get over the 8-foot wall, et cetera, et cetera. And then there's the tier 2 skills where you will be designated. So in those, we know those to be a little bit more advanced. So we don't necessarily want to make the race too hard. So on those tier 2 obstacles, it's going to be any 2 of the team must complete those.
And those tier 2 obstacles will be including the gibbons and the grips.
Correct. Gibbons,
Anchors and flats.
grips, anchors and flats. I think those are the ones. So those are only a few, but most teams again should have 2 persons on that team who can get through, and then you have one.
Especially if it's a team of 3 now, though.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and now you might have another person who might be carrying a little niggle or don't have the upper body strength or whatever. They can sit out the grips, they can sit out the gibbons, sit out the anchors and flats, but everybody else has got to go through and get through those obstacles.
Okay, so that's what I know about the teams of 3 and the difference in the obstacle, because I was hearing a lot of people with a little confusion
Right.
asking you at training and stuff. Like, what do you mean by the different tiers and things? So
Yeah.
if you do want to do it, you must complete ones now. You have as many chances as possible to get through it.
So and then we use the blue flag rule, so you can stay there forever. But as soon as a team comes behind you, you have to move to the side and let that team go through, and let them have their attempts. And then once they're gone, you can come back in. Stay in the same lane. You don't move over to another lane.
Yeah.
You stay in that same lane and you try again. And this is where you could stick up, as it were.
Yeah.
Because I think the idea of sticking up, I think even though you don't like it, it's added a lot of drama to the bar weekend.
It has
added a
like,
lot
that's
of drama to
like,
the
he's
bar
talking about this by thinking slick wall all the time. Like how people gather around slick wall and low traverse in previous years come to
Correct.
mind as obstacles that people know that they got to gather around because they got to encourage you because it's stick up time.
Yeah, and even in introducing the gibbons close to the finish line last year.
Yeah.
we had people who were challenged on the gibbons for a while, who were getting 3 and 4 across and then falling.
I remember around the last year and people were on the live and not moving. George not
Correct.
saying a word.
I
Nobody
couldn't-
commenting.
Right, yeah, it was just the drama of it. It was,
Yeah.
and that's, I think, as bar grows and it becomes, you're going to have your people who are like training hard every year and moving more and more towards the elite side. You're going to have your companies growing the corporate challenge, and you're going to have people finding out whether they like it or not. We might get to a point where the registration for the competition is relatively stable. But what we can always grow is the spectator numbers.
Yes.
Adding drama, adding that kind of getting people invested and will he make it this time? That is what is going to grow that spectator audience for us, I think.
Another thing that is growing the spectator audience, to my mind, is the fact that we're moving it away from PEG this year. Big news again.
Yeah, so we have. I think when we really love our relationship with PEG.
Love it.
We absolutely love our relationship
love
with PEG.
PEG.
We're going to continue to do the 5K trail mix there. We're going to continue to train there. Any obstacle camps we have for the kids, we're going to do there. But the decision to move from PEG is nothing to do with anything being wrong at PEG. It's really a decision based around trying to get more eyes on our sponsors' brands and bring bar somewhat more accessible to the people.
Yeah.
So we've found a location that we think gives us everything we need. We have the terrain that we need. It's a very central location. It gives us all the space that we want. It has some of the infrastructure we want. It's a well-known location. And to find something like this in the heart of the city, it's like, it was almost impossible.
Yeah.
And we did.
Yeah.
So the new venue, for those of you who are here
Billy
for
hype,
the
you
first
know.
time, the new venue. You want to make the announcement?
Now you made the announcement. I used to talk to people.
Right. So the new venue is going to be Botanical Gardens.
Love
So
it.
Barbados Adventure Weekend is going to be at the Botanical Gardens this year. And just on the kind of, and there'll be no entry fee, and just on the basic incidental spectator audience that is there on a weekend.
Yeah.
We think the athletes are going to be buoyed by that atmosphere of all these persons around who will be seeing them for the first time and cheering them on. And what are these people doing?
Yeah.
We think that that's going to be really exciting for all the athletes and the other spectators as well.
That's one of the things, because we are so involved in bar and absorbed by it that we don't realize that it's still a growing and fledgling sport. You know, when we realize it, when we do coast to coast and you people coming out on a Sunday morning asking, well, don't get with these things.
Right.
So this is another opportunity to bring bar and obstacle course racing to the community. You got to bring the mountain to Muhammad.
Yeah, for sure. Because, you know, the thing is that there's so many things competing for people's attention right now. That we have to make sure that we're easy for people to access.
Yes.
You know, you might be driving by Botanical Gardens on that Sunday and say, wait, what are these people doing?
All these cars, but yeah.
Exactly. And just stop, and now we got a new fan, or we got somebody who said, well, they can take part in that event next week.
Year,
So I think Botanical Gardens, we thank you for having us this year. Peg, don't worry, we're going to be back with all our other events as well. And just growing and expanding the bar family as we go along.
I just mentioned people that we love bar so much. We're so absorbed by bar and thing. You starting bar membership cards?
The bar membership card. I almost forgot this, so I'm so glad you brought that up. So again, in trying to add more value for our partners, what we're doing is we're launching a bar membership card. So the bar membership card will go out to all the bar tribe members who've registered for any bar event. And what that bar membership card does, when you look at the bar membership card, you'll see a QR code. You scan that QR code, and that will take you to a page on the website for all our partners. And then you can click on the link and go directly to our partners page, where there'll be offers for Bar Tribe members. You can walk into the store. If you obviously come in the service side with your Bar Tribe membership card, has a 10% discount. Automotive Art, Danny G Active, Nature Valley, Massey, and obviously all our big sponsors as well. So now
It's a
value.
benefit.
It's much more benefit to being a Bar Tribe member. And our sponsors now have a direct way of tracking whether their sponsorship investment is actually giving them a return or not.
I love it. So big bar is coming, and bar is getting bigger all the time, man.
Yeah, so again, if you're a sponsor out there thinking, I ain't really signed on yet, I want to be a part of that, you got to get to me soon, because we're locking down these things and wrapping up. All our title sponsors are gone, but there might still be an opportunity to come and sponsor an individual obstacle, or come on and bring your product if we don't have a competing product, and you could be a product sponsor in that category, or just be there on bar weekend with your stall set up, exposing your brand. So get in touch with us, BarbadosAdventureRace@gmail.com. BIMAdventurerace@gmail.com, or just link us through the website, BarbadosAdventureRace.org.
Well, I will tell y'all guys now, because I know a lot of people listening to this podcast, or that will come across this podcast, are the people that say, I can do that next year. This next year now. You see, so at the end of last bar, this is next year now. Training blocks are going on, and a new training block is starting shortly.
First week in September 4th. So just, again, click on the website. Your name will come directly through us through email. We'll give you some details and come and jump in, get involved for sure.
Because you can still get in 3 months of solid training.
3 months of solid training is all you need.
It really is.
It's
I hope it's all you need, because right now you need it.
3 months, 12 weeks is usually what 6 weeks is what they tell us you need for some sort of adaptation to occur. So 12 weeks, you're going to be in good shape for barman. I think the 12 weeks is you need to really master the skills. 6 weeks you can get fit, but 12 weeks you master the skills.
All right, guys. So if you're out there and you're interested in doing bar, and if you're interested in sponsoring, link us up right now. As you said, all of the title sponsors for the events are gone, but I like the idea of people sponsoring individual obstacles. Like you see, you just mentioned something like the Gibbons.
Right.
The slip wall used to attract a lot of attention. The lower traverse has attracted a lot of attention. And these obstacles, I think that having the basic obstacles have that additional pressure now of only three chances is going to ramp up the attention that is garnered by those obstacles. Nobody really paying attention to the monkey bars before.
Right.
They can just go through that, the elites can go, but no, you hear somebody got 2 chances, don't put the monkey bars, and they're saying that the hands sore.
Right.
You want to see what's happening there.
Correct. And previously, when you look at the social media posts, you would see a zillion slick wall posts.
Yes.
But now you're probably going to see some monkey bar posts and some rope climb posts as well. For sure.
Yeah. Definitely. No. Last thing we got to get out there right now is if you've watched all the way on down to here, we've got some prizes for you.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
or maybe a prize. I don't know.
We got 2 prizes. So we got some
yeah.
new bar merchandise coming. We have some bar beach towels and the microfiber. Doing the quick dry ones. So, you know, when you're running about and you want a towel, you want them big, fat, thick towels in your thing. So, the little thin ones, but just dry the same way.
Yeah.
So, we got one of those, and we got some new bar water bottles as well. Those insulated bottles that everybody see running me down if they could buy one.
New models.
New models, yeah. So, we're giving 2 prizes.
2 prizes.
2 different people. One person will get the towel, and one person will get the water bottle. And all you have to do is...
Well, I got a number of ways that you can possibly win.
Right.
All right, we can do it separate. You said, right? One for the...
So let's do this. Let's do a YouTube prize.
A YouTube prize.
And let's do an Instagram prize.
All right, YouTube prize. All you got to do is comment down below.
Correct.
Down below on YouTube. Comment the dates of A, the Amarone Trust, not the 5K, the practice run.
Right.
And B, the dates of Big Bar. Right? So I want to know the date of the practice run. You can scroll back because you're on YouTube. And also the dates of Big Bar. I mean, that's something to hard.
That's good. That's good.
So that's one of those dates. If you're watching on YouTube right now, comment down below and let us know, and you can win yourself either the microfiber towel or the water bottle. You win the other one on which platform?
Let's do the other one on Instagram. Most of our audience is on Instagram.
Oh, yeah, on Instagram. So if you are on Instagram right now, you comment and let us know the date of the Amarone Trust 5K.
Correct.
Exactly. And the sponsor of Barbados Adventure Weekend.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So the sponsor of Barbados Adventure Weekend, because it's a whole weekend now, and the date of the Amarone Trust 5K is what you said?
Correct.
Yeah. And you come in yourself, compliments the bar, and as you say, people be running you down for these water bottles. Yeah, so you want to win that. So comment down below, guys. That's been it then.
Yeah, there's a lot of information, so I would save this podcast and share it with all your friends, your family, your work colleagues, because you obviously scroll back and catch up on things. But we're always open. You know, you can always DM us through the Instagram page, bar_race, email us, or even get us on our YouTube channel as well.
New training block starts September the 4th. Get involved. Tell somebody that you know has been talking about bar and promising to do it. This is the time to do it. September 4th, a new training block is starting. September, I didn't want to tell them that. No, ask the question. Right. We got the Amarone Trust 5K coming up very shortly. I got my own little 5K coming up very shortly as well. They could probably use that as a training run as well. And Big Bar is coming up the end of November. Guys, tell somebody that knows somebody, that likes somebody, that if you know somebody, tell them about bar and let them never, ever, ever stop talking about bar.